Lace your heart with mine. Let your sleeping soul take flight. Take me through the night. Down, down, down by the river. Down, down, down by the river. Hanging moon in fog. Mists will lead where you belong. Sweep me off my feet. Down, down, down by the river. Down, down, down by the river. Down, down, down by the river. Inky amber, swirling down.
Welcome back to Your Mom Games live stream of Baldur's Gate 3. After a week's hiatus, we are finally back. Not just for any episode of Your Mom Games live stream of BG3, but the 50th live streamed episode of Baldur's Gate 3 here at Your Mom Games. Don't worry, we have a lot more to go. Since it's been a little while since we last got together, we should probably take a minute and review this journal and remember exactly what the hell we have been up to in this very long and involved game. So let's start off by looking at our main quests. Main quest number 1. Confront the Elder Brain. Obtain the 3 Netherstones. Now we have obtained 1 Netherstone that belonged to Ketheric Thorm, who we dispatched very dramatically at the end of Act 2. But now here we are in Act 3, and we have to get 2 more Netherstones, and that would be Gortash's Netherstone. To get that, we have to go to Worm's Rock Fortress, and that may not be as easy as we might think. And then we need to get Orin's Netherstone. Orin, the weird shape-shifting ball spawn. She's a ballist, a ball spawn like you know who. And so we need to find a way to get that stone from her as well. We also need to gather our allies. So in order to beat the Netherbrain, we are going to need a lot of allies, and we've just begun. We have Volo. We have Halzin. We have Arabella. We've picked up Jaheira. We are doing pretty good so far, but we have a lot more allies to acquire in order to really be ready to beat them. Finally, the personal crest, we need to deal with the devil. We need to speak with Raphael. We found Raphael's servant Corilla on the ground floor of Sherez's Caress. She told us her master awaits us on the top floor. Free Orpheus. Kithrak Voss, a Githyanki knight, planned to meet someone at Sherez's Caress who knows how to free Orpheus. The Githyanki being held by the Emperor in the astral plane. We need to talk to Kithrak Voss and see what we need to do next. Embrace our potential. We can use parasites if we want. We can use tadpoles if we want to enhance our abilities. So far, we have not actually consumed any, even though Asterion is more than willing to do so. We have decided... Yes, an angry Snoopy could actually be very helpful in this situation, but at least we have a very loyal Scratch, and we also have a wonderful and perhaps potentially powerful owl bear cub who could help us as well. But in last episode, the Emperor gave us an astral touched tadpole, or one of the last episodes, I can't remember, and he recommended we use it. Now, if we use the astral touch tadpole, we will evolve to become part illithid. And, you know, that seems like a pretty risky thing to do, but if we just use regular tadpoles, we won't become part illithid. So we still have some things to consider. I mean, when we started the game, the whole idea is to be cured from the tadpole, but now, up against an elder brain and the end of humanity as we know it, the destruction of the universe, we may have to consider things outside of our own needs and maybe consider how to survive and protect the entire world. So maybe it's not just about the tadpoles in our own brains anymore. And finally, Kithrock Voss, we already talked about that. So we're just kind of repeating that, right? So Baldur's Gate, we need to rescue the Grand Duke. So Grand Duke Ravengard was infected with an illithid tadpole and taken to Baldur's Gate. We know that much. We saw him get infected, but we don't know where he is. We just know that we have to rescue him. Free the artist, Oscar, who we met in the Zentrum hideout back in the Emerald Grove region. He left for Baldur's Gate after we purchased him from the Zentrum, and he is supposed to give us some coin in gratitude for us saving his behind. So we need to find Oscar somewhere in Baldur's Gate. Avenge the Iron Hands. We need to follow the gnomes. We know that a group of deep gnomes attacked a steel watcher when it scanned us, saving us, but they fled and we should follow them. Find Dribbles the clown. The real Dribbles was replaced by a doppelganger, and he was horribly murdered. But fortunately, you know what? His circus master, what do they call those guys? Anyways, I think it's Lucretia. She is a necromancer. So if we could just find the rest of Dribbles can perform yet again. We need to help the Devilish Ox. Remember, we found the Devilish Ox again, the one we first met in Emerald Grove, who we saw again at the Last Light Inn, and he turned himself into an apple, and all we need to do is bring him in. And you know what? I don't know if what I need to do is set the apple down once I get into the city. I've never actually helped him before, so we'll have to see that. Help the spirit of the amulet. We learned that Shira Clowrin passed away. Remember the monk whose amulet we found and who wants to be reunited with Shira Clowrin? Well, she is buried in a crypt under the temple, the open hand temple. And that's something I don't think we'll be covering in this episode, but probably the next one. We need to find out more information about the suspicious toys. So we know that Arthur was making explosive teddy bears to give to the refugees, but he's not doing it on his own. He was being blackmailed by somebody to create those toys, so we need to find out who. And we still need to find poor sweet Mull, who was not in the illithid colony under Moonrise Towers, but we did find her eye patch. So we need to go find Mull somewhere, and we need to investigate the Tsar Palace. We met a tribe of Gur people. Their leader, Olma, told us that a vampire called Cazador, who we know is Asterian's master, has been killing their people and kidnapping their children. She asked us to save the children and slay the vampire. We should find where Cazador resides. And of course, our companions, Daughter of Darkness, we found a Sharon lookout called Frere Droger. He revealed that a cloister is hidden in a place called the House of Grief in the lower city of Baldur's Gate. We need to do that for Shadowheart, but guess what? They're really hard to beat, so we won't be doing that for a while. Our fiery friend, Gortash, is Karlach's former boss, someone she trusted. He betrayed her, consigning her to a life in the hells. She wants her revenge, but first we have to find him. The Blade of Frontiers, of course, this is going to relate to the Grand Duke, since the Grand Duke is Will's father, but we also have to deal with Mizora. The Githyanki warrior, Vlaakith appeared to us in camp and made Lae'zel an offer. Kill Orpheus and she will ascend Lae'zel to the astral plane and honor her as her chosen. But Lae'zel said, oh no, Vlaakith, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, I cut you throat. And so Vlaakith is not happy about that. And Lae'zel knows that Orpheus can defeat Vlaakith, so that's what she wants to do now. The High Harper, Jaheira, joined our party. We should head to Baldur's Gate to meet her contacts in the city. And Asterion. We met two of his fellow vampire spawn, Deliria and Petrus, at Frago's Flophouse. We learned Cazador plans to perform a ritual that will grant him incredible power, and that Asterion is part of it. They revealed it's taking place in a defiled chapel beneath Cazador's palace before turning to mist, poof, and disappearing. So we have to find Cazador's palace. And then we need to go to Sorcerer Sundry's because Gale wants to learn more about the Nethery's crown that sits atop the Elder Brain. The gems from Ketheric Thorm, Gortash, and Orin control the crown, the very crown of Karsus's folly. And in order to find out more about it, we need to go to this renowned magical emporium, Sorcerer Sundry's, known for its collections of rare and valuable magic tomes. So we have to go there and go shopping, as we already know. So anything that we need to review before we continue with today's episode that we haven't already gone over, or that you need your memory refreshed on today? Anything at all? Okay, so let's get going. So we will be taking Asterion, Lae'zel, and Gale on today's adventure. So for that, I'm going to need to go down and level up Lae'zel. So I am going to continue Lae'zel's skill tree up her monk abilities. And I'm not going to add anything new in here. I'm just going to go ahead and give her that. And of course, when I do that, I'm going to get some weird little abilities that are sort of out of place here. So let me move them. Okay.
Let's get going.
Okay, let's take a quick rest. And there's not really anybody that I need to talk to in camp, I don't think. So let's go ahead and get that started. What shall we give Gale to cook tonight? How about a tomato, some apples and sausage, maybe some carrots? Maybe some potatoes. That's close enough. Uh-oh.
How did you? Oh, it's you. I must have let my mind wander. Enough for you to wander in. Forgive me. I am drained. Ever since you killed Ketheric and took his Netherstone, the Chosen's control of the brain has been brittle. It's rebelling against Orin and Gortash, fiercely. I suspected that when we took Ketheric's stone, the brain would begin to break free. Those brain quakes confirm that my suspicion was correct. I do not know what happens now when it receives their orders, and I do not dare guess.
You feel the Emperor's fear as if it were your own. An elder brain enslaved is one thing. An elder brain unleashed will be the end of everything.
Beautiful, isn't it? The mighty Prince Orpheus, contained in submissive slumber. Come. You may as well sit a while, now that you are here. Your company isn't unwelcome.
You seem troubled.
An accurate summary. I have found myself distracted of late. I'm haunted by memories. They are relentless. I can think of nothing. No one else.
Someone from your past?
Indeed. Duke Stelmane. Or as I knew her, Berlin, when she was alive. You thought you were my first ally. Far from it. I have long sought the allyship of others. It is the only way to succeed. Though my relationship with Berlin was different from my relationship with you.
How so?
In life, she was my business partner, back when we ran the Knights of the Shield. A difficult task for a mind flayer. Duke Stelmane trusted me, and the city trusted her. I conceived the plot, but Berlin took center stage. It was she who met with the merchants, politicians, and patriarchs. It was she who negotiated deals and signed off on agreements. Her rooms played host to the most important conversations in the city. Together, we brought order to chaos. At its height, everything that happened in that city went through the shield. Through us. I could not have done any of it without her. Just as I cannot do any of this without you. But now, she is gone.
Do you need a hug?
I appreciate the offer, but I don't think it will help. What I feel is deeper than superficial cures can reach.
Oh.
And not entirely unwelcome. Most people think that mind flayers are soulless husks who feel nothing. I am glad you are not most people.
Thank you for sharing that.
You have shown me great empathy. We are closer now. Close enough, I hope, that I can ask you to reconsider your position regarding your physical form. I know it is no easy choice for you, but we will have a far better time ridding the city of Gortash if you accept just a touch of illithidness. Not to mention the Elder Brain itself. Our chances against it greatly improve the more illithid we both are. Another quake. The brain is rebelling again. I need to focus. And so do you.
Okay, so we are going to head out and head back to Rivington really quickly. And, you know, actually, I shouldn't have left yet. I should go back to camp. There was one other thing I wanted to do here, and that is go ahead and start consuming just a couple of tadpoles. Not too many, and not the astral touched tadpole that will make me half illithid. Just You know, just maybe a couple more, just to give me a little more power, just a tiny bit. So now the journal is updated to embrace your potential. So if we go over here to embrace your potential, the Emperor has given us means to unlock the next stage of our Illithid transformation. I'm not going to do that, but what I am going to do is go up here. So you see now there's a new thing on the bar, the Illithid powers. Draw upon the Illithid tadpole squirming within you to gain twisted eldritch powers. And you know what? I'm ready for it. I'm going to do some twisted eldritch powers. So Illithid persuasion is the first thing that you get, and it's a passive feature which you already have from the first tadpole, right? But there are other things you can get, like favorable beginnings, luck of the far realms, psionic overload, force tunnel, concentrated blast, shield of thralls. All of these are things that I really like. So I'm going to start off with favorable beginnings. And I'm probably going to go ahead and take luck of the far realms as well. I'll stop there for now. Now, when you do that and you go over here, oh wait, there are none that are actually, these are passive abilities that I've picked up so far. As I acquire more of those abilities, they'll appear on my wheels, on my options, and so then I will be able to actually use them. But after you consume one, it's a good idea to go talk to your teammates, and this is why I came back to camp.
Kinja, no good will come of devouring a gate worm, no matter what you might think.
But haven't you thought about making use of the tadpole's power, Lae'zel?
Mark my words, this power would be no blessing, but a curse. You might as well ask me to gouge out my eyes for the promise of sight, or slice off my tongue for the promise of taste. Consume all the gate tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven.
Really? If we must bear the tadpole's burdens, should we not avail ourselves of their power?
Perhaps you... No, that's absurd. When the tadpole has stretched to every pore and slithered through every vein, what am I to do then? It won't hear my screams. It won't care if I beg. I will be remade in its image. My own might will sustain me. I have no need of this depraved power.
All right. Well, I'd like to change the subject.
Let's do just that.
I guess there's nothing else to talk about. We'll see you later. Now, weirdly enough, Chihira doesn't say anything about that.
Feeling illithid?
So about our tadpole powers.
You really did it, huh? Not worried about adding more illithid into the mix? Well, what can I say? You look fine, smell fine, seem fine. And yet, you're more mind flayer than ever. Hope you don't expect me to follow your lead in this.
It's your choice, but I think the tadpole makes me stronger or not at all. I'm just going to say not at all. I'm not into pressuring my teammates too
Good.
much.
And you know, keep an eye on yourself. If you start feeling loopy, shout. We don't know what these tadpoles are capable of.
Look, Chihira doesn't say anything.
Well, are we ready for the road once more?
I think she's just kind of like, I'm going to pretend like that didn't happen. See if Asterion says anything.
Precious little Baal babe.
Oh. Oh well, can we talk about the two of us?
Us. I still love the sound of that.
How about a kiss to embarrass all of our viewers?
How could I say no?
Ah. Well, maybe if you've been feeling loopy, what you need is another tadpole. It might be the thing to just make everything better. Or perhaps a kiss from Asterion, because
Perfect. Every time.
nobody can feel loopy after that, right? So let's just keep going.
Gone gods. Watching you consume that tadpole was more disgusting than the tadpole itself. Though, I suppose that's not what you wanted to talk about.
Well, could it be true? Duke Stelmane allied with the Emperor?
Mind flayers are like devils. They just sport tentacles rather than wings. Clever, manipulative, exploitative. The Emperor says he's a friend. I think we'd be fools to believe him. And maybe it's true. Maybe Stelmane allied with a mind flayer and subjected the city to their political will. Or maybe he made an offer she couldn't refuse.
Did you know Stelmane very well back in the day?
I met her twice. The first time, I was a boy of 7 or 8, at a banquet in the Flaming Fist's honor. One look and I was smitten. Chestnut hair that flowed behind her like willow fronds, as she floated from one room to the next as if carried by clouds. The second time, Stelmane was different. Even with the aid of a cane, each step she took was a struggle. Every word she spoke took great physical effort. A stroke victim? I asked Father later. No, he said. A stroke survivor.
Any idea who could be behind the killing?
I couldn't say. But think about this. My father was tadpole. Stelmane is dead. The people are frightened and the council's in disarray. To exert control, you must first sow chaos. A tyrant's strategy, as father would say. These murders aren't random acts. Someone powerful is guiding the killer's hand, and the city is made weaker for it.
Yes, exactly right. So what do you think of the illicit potential the Dream Visitor spoke
I
of?
think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious, but once you take an illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you.
We face untold dangers, Will. Shouldn't we seize every possible advantage? I don't think I'm going to pass this one.
Yes, I suppose we should. Though I'm more than a bit wary. Still, I am the frontier's avowed protector. New dangers require new skills to vanquish them. If the tadpole must be my curse, then let the powers it grants me be the Sword Coast's blessing. I will consume what I must to make it so.
That's practical. If it does what it promises. If it does.
It was bad enough having just one of those tadpoles forced upon us. I can scarcely believe you actually inflicted another on yourself.
These illicit powers we're developing, what do you make of them?
On one hand, they seem useful. But on the other hand, or perhaps tentacle before long, we know where they're coming from and what lies at the end of that path. I never expected ceremorphosis to be tempting. I think we should resist these powers. There's simply too many unknowns for us to risk it.
All right. Some might say excessive caution is a risk in and of itself.
And some might say eels and turnips boiled in milk is a delicacy. But some are fools. I'll make my own mind up.
Fair enough.
Come on then, don't leave me in suspense. How are you feeling? No errant tentacles? No sudden cravings for a more cerebral diet?
Let's see. I'm feeling great. Consuming these tadpoles could give us quite the advantage.
Wonderful. Advantages are a more precious commodity than I'd have hoped, given the nature of our predicament. I commend you on your willingness to take such a risk. Now, let's hope your new illithid fuel prowess tipped the balance suitably in our favor. Was there another matter you wish to discuss?
Not right now.
Oakfather preserve you.
He doesn't have anything new to add, so let's go. So now we really are leaving camp. We really are going to Rivington, so let's go here.
There now. You see the city? Up on the hill.
What are you calling this sleep? That's why we need to walk just a little more. Cheerful. Refugees for hire. Catchy, right?
So I don't know if you remember last time, Gale had talked to his Tressum, who was devouring some rather important carrier pigeons, and we told her, please don't, and she said, sure, I'll stop doing that. We need to return to the postmaster to let him know that we have found out what was happening to the pigeons, and we also read the mail, and I don't know if you remember, but it seems the postmaster was engaged in some rather nefarious things down in the with the Zentrum, doing some perhaps illegal things with the Zentrum. I don't know why that's not working right now, but we'll fix it. Let's go see if we can make any hay from that situation.
Don't suppose you've stumbled across those letters yet?
Oh, I might have. I found the letter intended for the Zentrum. It made for very interesting reading.
You read it?
Oh, yes.
Technically, that's interfering with someone else's property. I should report you to the nearest manip. Tell you what, give it here and we'll say no more about it.
Oh,
I'll
really?
give you a nice little bonus as well, a finder's fee.
Finder's fee. I say, give me everything the Zentrum paid you, or this letter is the least of your worries.
Fine. Just give me the letter. Forget you saw anything. This never happened.
That's right. It never happened.
When will I get to train the dogs again, Miss Mahia?
When you prove yourself not to be an incompetent idiot. Woof.
I beg your pardon?
Ah, you speak, which means you're not a dog. So, what the hell are you doing in my kennels?
You were being awfully harsh on the boy when I arrived.
It's the only way to teach him. He behaves worse than the dogs, and makes more of a mess.
Is this dog one of yours?
Scratch! Oh, it's good to see you, boy! Shut up, Dringo, and get back to work. And you've been slacking as well, Scratch.
No,
This
she
dog
did
is
not.
property of Sword Coast Couriers. I'll take him off your hands now.
You shouldn't raise your hand to him like that.
I can do whatever I please. He's my dog. Now get out. This is a private yard.
You might be able to bully a dog and a boy, but threaten me and I'll snap you in two. Oh, I'm gonna have to, Uh-oh.
And if you do, I'll call the guards. Who do you think they'll side with? The dog is my property.
Let's see. I don't like her. I'm just gonna attack her.
Let my name be known.
Lae'zel is not gonna let you treat her doggy bad.
Thank you for making Mistress go away. She was horrid.
Yes, that's right.
I'm sorry for what happened. Scratch will be happier with you.
You better believe he will. Give me my Scratch. He's mine.
Mistress is gone. Mistress is gone. I mean, such terrible news. She will be missed.
Well, now we've taken care of that.
Fascinating.
Yes, poor sweet Scratch. She was such a meanie. Ooh, I don't like her. If you give her to Scratch, it has a terrible, terrible ending. And I don't even want to talk about it because it's so sad. Manit Falcao.
Bloody gnomes. We need to find where they burrowed themselves up. You an adventurer? Looking to pad your purse? Find their foxhole. Bring me their chief's head. The fist will reward you well.
Bring you their head? That sounds radical.
You'll change your mind once they kill innocent citizens. The only language they'll understand is that of intimidating violence.
I don't think I'll do that.
Then you're no friend of the fist. No matter. I'll
Probably
find
not.
someone else. Most folks around here will do almost anything. You pay them enough.
So he was looking down here, right? So there's something down here that I need to go look into, right? So let's go down there.
Our readers will be outraged. Ah! Are you trying to get into the city? Got a minute to tell me about your experience at the gate today?
Slow down a second. Who are you?
I'm Lens, roving reporter for the Baldur's Mouth Gazette. My editor sent me to cover the drama out here at the gate. He wants some fluff piece about the heroic Steel Watch keeping the mob at bay, whether or not that's the truth or not.
And what do you think is the truth?
That the refugees here are desperate, hungry, scared people. They're no mob. They just want to be safe. I've heard the rumors. Absolutists marching from Moonrise Towers. Whole towns felled by strange curses. It's no wonder they ran. Of course, I can't write any of that. My editor only releases stories his friend Lord Gortash approves of, and he's very selective.
I'd love to speak with your editor. Where can I find him?
At the Gazette's print house, though it's in the lower city, so you'll need to get past the gates first. Come to think of it, you remind me of someone he was writing a piece about. You, might want to speak to him about that. Set the record straight before the ink is dry, so to speak. Now, if you don't mind, I've got some edits to make.
Okay.
That might be worth a look. Another quake. What's going on?
The brain is breaking free.
Yeah, the brain needs all 3 nether stones working together to stay under control, and right now there's only 2 really working with the other stones to keep it under control. Did not mean to do that. Ha! I accidentally put that outfit on her. That's better. So journal updated, avenge the Iron Hands. What is going on here?
The boss is expecting you. Hasn't forgotten what you did for him at Moonrise.
Okay, so I am expected in here. Let's go see what's going on.
Look, unless you're an expert in steel watcher gyroscopics, please get out of my light.
Oh man, these Iron Hand gnomes, let me tell you. Oh look! It's Thula.
You're here. Good luck. This damn city's more treacherous than the Underdark.
So there are some things here that I would love to have, but they are really, really hard to steal, and I don't think I can pull it off, especially not in this episode.
It stopped, but it'll happen again. It keeps happening. The shivering, shaking, quaking. Don't you feel it?
Don't worry, it's probably just the world ending.
No. The stone, it wouldn't... Something is hurting it. Everything is going to crumble and fall away. We'll be dust. I want to go home.
Oh, baby. Philomene.
Huh? You look different when you're not trying to talk someone down from igniting a barrel of rune powder. Chuck your questions at Wulbrun. That's his job. I can make time for chatter after you know what's what.
Still trying to calm down a bit. Talk to Wulbrun, would you?
Wulbrun. Barkus!
Ah, there you are. Good. We need to strategize. Wulbrun is planning something. Lots of moving parts. I'm still trying to suss the details myself.
You look worried.
I am. I knew him rash, but this is unspeakable. Speak to him. Help him see sense. Someone has to.
Can we take a moment and just admire how beautiful Astarion looks today? I just want to do that for a second. Okay.
Good to see you. Wasn't sure you'd make it to the city. Regretting it yet? I spent a lot of time thinking of worst-case scenarios while I was locked in that cell you plucked me out of at Moonrise. I didn't imagine anything as bad as this. The Gondians have handed Enver Gortash the means to bring about the end of liberty in Baldur's Gate. And the citizens have rolled out the red carpet for the new tyrant. Resistance fighters are few and far between. My iron hands, what's left of the Harpers, and you, I hope.
Gortash is a dead man. I have reasons of my own for taking him down.
As long as our objective is the same, the reason doesn't matter to me. We have a common enemy. But neither of us gets what we want until we deal with our biggest obstacle. The Steel Watch. They're a threat to you, me, and every man, woman, and child in this city. They act all civilized, servants of the people, but they only serve one man. When he becomes Grand Duke, it will only get worse. Laws will change, freedoms will vanish, and soon you'll be accused and sentenced before you've even committed a crime. And the fucking Gondians are to blame for all of it.
Why put the blame on the Gondians?
They invented the Steel Watchers, and they're building an army of them. They've always been happy to provide their technology to despots in exchange for a stipend and the freedom to work in peace. They would have licked Saravok's boots, given the chance. And now they'll kiss Gortash's ring while the city screams. I had a plan to put a stop to them. But the way things are now, if we stick our heads above ground, the Watchers are on us like flies on shit.
Let's see. What was the plan?
Same as it always is. Eliminate the threat. In this case, the foundry where these atrocities are produced. The Gondians are ingenious, but we're more than equal to them. There's nothing they can build that the Iron Hands can't tear down. I've built something unique for just that purpose. A rune powder bomb. First of its kind. 50 wizards high on the weave couldn't summon this kind of firepower. Get the bomb inside the Gondian facility, and boom. Problem solved.
Wulbren, please. This is too far. Everyone in the foundry would be killed.
Quiet, Barkus. The adults are talking.
Jeez, he's still a jerk. This plan seems a bit loud for my liking. Messing too.
That's what I've been saying. There may yet be a peaceful solution.
Fine. You want to try flapping your gums in the belly of the beast? Be my guest. But their idea of diplomacy is a steel fist shoved where the sun don't shine. So take the bomb. Just in case I'm right and you're wrong.
Fine, I'll take it, but I'll only use it as a last resort.
As long as you see sense, I don't care when you see it. The foundry is in the lower city, down by the docks. Beautiful building, belching smoke into the sky day and night. Getting inside won't be easy, but when you do, place the bomb at the heart of the facility. Get yourself back to street level. The streets will be clear of Watchers in no time.
Okay, so I have received the rune powder bomb. If I go by weight here, it'll be the first thing that comes up because it will be the heaviest thing in my inventory. So the rune powder bomb, very rare, 50 to 120 damage, 10d8 plus 40 force. The rune powder inside explodes when ignited, damaging everything in the vicinity, automatically critically hits objects and environments, permanent damage, no coming back from that. It's also very valuable, 2,500 gold as well. But it's also pretty heavy, 16 pounds. So I am going to send that to somebody who's a little bit stronger than me. And that is going to be my dear Astarion. And I'm no longer encumbered.
A rune powder bomb? Huh. What the devil has he become?
I think there's more to this than meets the eye.
You'll hear no argument on that score. But using rune powder on the Gondians? They are inventors, just like us. Persnickety and self-important, too. But we all have our moments. Something is wrong. Very wrong. Please, speak to them before you do anything. They deserve a chance to plead their case before being blown to pieces, don't you think?
All right, I will speak to them.
That's all I ask. Questions first, violence later. And only if absolutely necessary.
Well, only if absolutely necessary might be going a little too far, but all right. Let's see. Let's talk to Larita.
Those things are terrifying. If someone hadn't been there. But they were. And I'm here now. I'm safe.
How are things with you and Philomene?
Awkward, in a word. She's made it quite clear she doesn't want me around. When I think about it, I'm not sure she ever did. I was foolish. I just want to be useful, but I'm not as good at this as the others. But I'll get better.
Aw, so sweet.
Now you've spoken to the big man? Good to see you. Never thought I'd meet you again, let alone fight on the same side. Glad we both made it out of Grimforge alive, and that I didn't have to use that rune powder to make a point.
Aw. Glad I could diffuse the situation.
Funny. You're gonna need that sense of humor here. I overheard you're gonna be helping us fight the good fight. Knew I would have regretted blowing you up. Better get on with it then. Wulbren wouldn't have put his trust in you for nothing.
Okay, so now we know where the Iron Hand gnomes ended up. And Wulbren is up to some pretty radical stuff. I mean, he's not wrong, right? But he's also taking this all a little bit too far with the rune powder bombs. Plus, we do need to talk to the Gondians, right? Like, we know what Gortash is. Maybe they're being manipulated, or they've been tadpoled, or something like that. Or maybe they're just bad guys who like having power. Okay, so now let's see. I think next we should go to Sharessa's Caress for Lae'zel and speak with Kithrock Voss. So, at the upper floor, maybe we should go talk to Raphael first.
Devil's Den.
Oh, the Devil's Den.
He can be set free. I know he can be set free. You must hear me, Devil. I will do whatever it takes. Give you anything you ask.
There is only one thing in this world that I desire. You do not have it, and you never will.
The Kithrak? What deal would he make with this devil?
You must help me, Raphael. For the sake of my people.
Hush now, Voss. These guests may not know it yet, but they want the same thing that you do. And unlike you, they have something of value to offer in return.
Oh.
Lae'zel, Talak Magir. The devil holds the key to freeing the Gith people. Right here, right now. You could seal our fate. Whatever you discuss with this devil, I must hear of it. Find me below in the tap room, once you're loosed from his claws.
Voss looks like he's been in a bad fight.
I'm glad you came. Not to my door, not yet, but to the final reckoning. One more thing before we begin, though.
For the first time since the Nautiloid, your mind is clear. It's unsettling.
Did you just cure me of the tadpole with a click of your fingers?
Wouldn't that be exquisite? But no. I'm afraid the tadpole is still there. But I did shut out your other visitor for a while, so we can enjoy some privacy. The Illithid can't hear us.
Then speak freely. Tell me why you brought me here.
I brought you here because I'm true to my word, and I can make all of this tadpole business go away, which means you and your lovely friends can remain blessedly free of tentacles. Let us speak plain. I'll admit, you've impressed me. I wasn't sure you'd make it this far, but no matter how far you come, you're still on the road to ruin. A road that leads directly to a confrontation with the Elder Brain. At best, it will kill you and everyone else in this city. At worst, it will assimilate you, and you won't have enough free will left to even wish you were dead. You have the key to destroying it in the palm of your hand, though.
Orpheus.
Very perceptive. Yes. I can give you the means to break him free.
Speak, devil. We're listening.
Go on.
The Orphic Hammer. An artifact capable of shattering the chains that hold Prince Orpheus is held securely in my House of Hope, even now.
It's very convenient that you have exactly what I need.
Isn't it just? And it's even more convenient that you can give me exactly what I want in return.
I suppose you want my soul in exchange for the hammer?
You really do think highly of yourself. My sights are set on something much more valuable than your soul. Succulent though it would be. I want the crown that dominates the Elder Brain. And you, Lae'zel of Kalir, want to free the Forgotten Prince, do you not?
I want nothing more.
Then it is settled, is it not? A crown for a hammer. A bargain of a lifetime, Lae'zel of Kilir.
Handing that crown to this devil will be like feeding gunpowder to a lava worm. Agree to nothing.
I'm tempted, but tell me why you're so eager to get hold of the crown.
I have craved it ever since the arch-wizard Karsus created it, long centuries ago, and brought doom to the Empire of Netheril. That was the great age of humanity, and Netheril's flying sky cities were the apex of civilization. I was there the day it all fell apart. Entire cities plummeted from the sky like angels with broken wings. The screams, oh, the screams. Hundreds of thousands of people watching in horror as the ground came up to meet them. It was not a happy meeting, and Karsus was responsible. Not driven by malice, but by ambition. He forged a crown imbued with all the powers of magic. A crown that would make any who wore it a god. Men cannot contain so much power. The crown destroyed its creator, and his empire fell with him. Karsus's folly, the bards and scholars call it. I call it hope. The hope of creating a better world, and the perils of unchecked hubris. I knew then that the folly of mortals could be the triumph of devils, and that I could use that crown to unite the Nine under one Archdevil Supreme. Me.
Huh. Why didn't you take the crown there and then?
The archdevil Mephistopheles snatched up the crown and squirreled it away in one of his vaults. He is not more than a frigid archivist. So much power and potential kept inert. He made a miracle into a museum piece. I raged. But only for a decade or so. Then I waited, ever watching for more than 1,000 years, for a mistake, a mishap, a misadventure. And these chosen, who have caused you so much trouble accidentally, did me a favor. They brought the crown back into play.
How did they come to have the crown?
Through the aid of a diabolist, somebody capable of opening a portal to the Hells. Deep in the Hells. They must have raided Mephistopheles' vault. Impressive, I must admit. But they'll be dead soon. If you don't kill them, the Elder Brain will. It doesn't have feelings in the way you'd understand them. But it seems rather angry. It is inevitable. When you destroy the brain, and you will because you must, the crown will be yours for the taking. And when that moment comes, you give the crown to me. In exchange, I give you the hammer now.
A simple transaction, it seems, but it's more than that. He's offering you an alternative to the mind flayer in your head. Take Raphael's deal and you could free Orpheus. With Orpheus free, you would have no need to rely on the Emperor. But there's no guarantee that Orpheus would be on your side. And if you take the deal, you'll have to fulfill it. You'll have to deliver the crown of Karsus to the devil himself. He claims his ambition is to unite the Hells, but can he be trusted to stop there? Do you trust him more than you trust the Emperor?
Skvar! We should do as the devil asks. The Prince of the Comet must rise again.
No deal, Raphael. I'm leaving.
I won't stop you. But time is running out. So, don't stay away for long. If you see reason, I'll be here, waiting. Right up to the moment the world ends.
So, the devil himself is pursuing the crown. As for whether it's truly the crown Carter's forged, well, I think it's safe to assume we shouldn't take anything Raphael utters at face value. We must claim the crown of Carsus for ourselves, before anyone else does.
The means to loosing the Prince of the Comet was within our grasp, and you refused it. Why?
Because we don't need that deal. We can take the hammer from the House of Hope.
I wanted to follow the open valley, the easy way out. You chose the brambled path. I'm annoyed by it. And I admire you for it. We must speak with Voss. Then we find our way to Raphael's House of Hope. We'll take the Orphic hammer and use it to smash the true heir's bonds. Yisk Githkar Tafki Crashet. The Githyanki will be free.
Useful as the hammer would have been, I'm relieved we're not in the devil's debt. Once his kind has you under their thumb, they won't ever let you go.
Good point.
Vlaakith's will be done.
Hey, Mal, how are you?
Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
There you are. I thought I'd lost you. Something was blocking me from hearing your thoughts.
It was Raphael.
Raphael? Well, thank you for your honesty. Of course, I should have known the devil would come sniffing. The stench of impending chaos is irresistible to them. And what did he want with you?
He wants the crown that's on the brain.
Giving a devil what he wants sounds like a brilliant idea. And what did he offer you in return for bringing it to him?
Does it matter? I said no.
I am glad you had the sense to turn him down. But it certainly does matter. Anything that threatens our alliance threatens our chances of defeating the Elder Brain. So I ask you again, what were the terms of the deal he offered you?
He wanted the crown the brain is wearing and offered me the means to free Orpheus.
An horrendous deal. Imagine a crown of sufficient power to dominate an Elder Brain atop a devil's head. You would be trading one apocalyptic event for another. Thank you for telling me, and for rejecting him. And now, we must be doubly on our guard. The devil is like a cockroach. No matter what you do to it, it will always come back. I doubt this will be the last time you are approached. I trust that you will continue to remember who is really on your side. Without my protection, you cannot defeat the Elder Brain. You cannot even get close to it, no matter what the devil whispers in your ear.
So true. Now we are going to go talk to Kithrak Voss, but there is one little thing we're going to deal with first. And that is going to be right in here.
Flick of the wrist.
Nymph's Grotto.
The Nymph's Grotto at Sharessa's Caress. This should be interesting. Oh, and actually, before I do that, I am almost forgetting myself. I actually haven't opened this game in a while, FYI. But there is one thing I wanted to do in here. I'm gonna rob from Raphael. Let's just steal his stuff while we're here. He doesn't really mind when I steal his stuff, so that's good. Oh yeah. These are great outfits. Okay. Supplication scrapbook. Let's see. This scrapbook collecting supplications, notes, and letters from mortals to Raphael begging for boons, help, or assistance. Margin notes call out the devil's favorites, as in this example. Says she wants her siblings out of the way so she can take full control of the family business, only so their late mother will be properly honored by its efficiency and profitability. How utterly disingenuous. One has to admire it. There's no profit for me in taking her gnarly little soul. Helping her would be sheer indulgence, but if I'm not indulging myself, why bother with any of this? Another cute outfit. We're gonna send that to camp. I'll take his wine too. He's Raphael. He can always get more. Oh, some more Ithbank. I'll take that. This is a heroic fantasy in verse form, told in the first person by a bold poet who challenges the devil, clearly modeled on Raphael, to an improvised poetry contest to win back the soul of his lover. The following couplet has been circled in red ink. If the line doesn't scan, the devil sneers, you forfeit your soul and end in tears. Ha! I'll keep my time and make my rhyme with vim and snap and no down came the claw crap. Oh my goodness, look, more cute outfits. I'm sending them to camp. See, I don't think there's anything, spoon. I'll take Raphael's spoon. You know why? Because one of these days Raphael's going to go to eat a bowl of soup and he's going to be like, where's my spoon? White pawn orders. Now this is important. White pawn, you are to find a high-profile, unsolved crime and confess to it, turning yourself into porter after arranging at Baldur's Mouth for coverage. You know which reporter to use. Your position in the Flaming Fist barracks should make it easy to identify a crime that, when resolved, will add greatly to Porter's renown. That will cancel your debt. Don't worry about the why. It's a pawn's place to be sacrificed so other pieces can win the game. White Bishop orders. White Bishop, prepare yourself for a major speech in your temple extolling Flame Porter for her successes protecting the city and fighting crime. She is clearly a favorite of both mortals and immortals, and you can hint that fate and destiny may conspire to place her in command of Baldur's Gate. Your sermon will be printed in full in Baldur's Mouth, so remember that you are speaking not just to Helm's devotees, but to every citizen of the Gate. Orate, elevate, and inspire. That will cancel your debt, and I don't doubt you will end up as a key player in the new regime. Ready yourself, Raphael. And finally, the White Knight orders. White Knight, your task is finally at hand. As commander of the Sea Tower, you're close to all the sub-commanders of the Flaming Fist. Sound them out as to their willingness to support the possibility of Flame Porter's promotion to Marshal and perhaps even beyond. Encourage those who are lukewarm to be prepared to rank themselves behind Porter even when events elevate her in power and prominence. However, for those who would oppose her, don't push them. Just make a note of their names and positions and they will be dealt with by other means. That will cancel your debt and doubtless line you up for greater responsibilities as well. Prepare yourself, Raphael. Raphael is scheming, as one would expect. So just another about 10 minutes. We just have to go talk to the nymph in here.
beautiful.
More than beautiful. You are the aurora stretched across the north skies. You are the golden dunes swept across the Callan. You are the fruit of the forbidden palm, soft on my skin, sweet on my tongue. You are my sin and salvation.
Oops, am I interrupting?
It stirs, and you gaze at the nymph through the flaming fist's hungry eyes. Your muscles shiver with her longing. Your skin burns with her heat.
What's wrong, Jara?
What are you? Wait. I know you.
You aren't safe. Get out of here now.
I don't understand. What's...
Your face. The Absolute has shown me.
Jara, what's going on? Who's this woman?
Gather. Prepare.
Your head screams in agony. The change has come.
Uh-oh.
Pustules boiling beneath your skin, your bones twisting, your flesh rupturing. And suddenly, silence.
What's happening?
The nymph is like, I'm gonna have to charge extra. Sorry, I'd hear at Sharessa's Caress. We charge extra for illithids.
Unleash me. Pawn to Cleric 4.
Time to strike. Taking position.
Nothing important is ever easy.
So that wasn't a Lithid power just then. That was Luck of the Far Realms, which makes your first attack really powerful. Now, Fist Jara, aka Illithid Jara, is gonna attack us. But Gale's alright with that. Let's see, we don't want to go too crazy and damage everything in here.
Swift and lethal. I will not know failure.
I should ask her if she's okay.
Hells. I'd heard tales of mind flayers. Talons sharp as daggers and tentacles yet more fearsome. But no tale did justice to its ethereal beauty. It floats like a butterfly. Its blood shimmers like silver.
That thing could have killed you, and you're musing on its beauty?
How can I help it? I don't regret its death. But I marvel that such a work of art could ever live.
Her gaze intensifies. Your breath quickens, and your heart skips a beat. The woman's senses are heightened and her fire stoked. The mind flayer is no mere curiosity, but an object of desire.
The creature aroused you, didn't it?
Why should I deny it? My urge is as natural as the grape upon the vine. But perhaps there are other flavors that might satisfy my palate.
What do you have in mind?
Rapture. Close your eyes and listen.
Okay. I'll close my eyes and listen.
You see only darkness. Her voice shines through it, warmer than the sun, yet cooler than night.
The all-being. Here, there is no suffering. Here, you want for nothing. Here, you are anything. You have one word. Tell me, what will you be?
Sane.
You are sane. Time dances on in sequence. The winding path of time evens and becomes straight. With a quiet head, you can once again hear the song of the birds and the wind in the grass. You pluck a flower, and it does not bleed.
Your flesh shivers, your heart bursts. True ecstasy for one fleeting moment.
Open your eyes. I'll remember you, and you'll remember me.
Indeed. And so she is a nymph. Interesting. She also doesn't mind if you take her stuff for some reason, so I'll take it. And Fist Jara just left her outfit and her sword. We'll take that too. And an extra sponge, why not? We can always use another one. Now we will go talk to Voss. Now you see, after talking to her, I have a special condition. I believe it is blessed, but let me double check here really quick. Rapture. So Tav is experiencing rapture after her interaction with the nymph.
Like it's well be done. At least things have stayed interesting.
Things have stayed interesting. And yes, you know, nymphs are very easy to please. And they are sort of beneficent, I guess you could say.
Voss, friend to the comet.
Lae'zel of Kalir, warrior of warriors. Tell me you took the devil's deal. Tell me you will free Gith's heir.
No, I will find another way to liberate Orpheus.
I did not come this far for you to turn your back on the First Mother's son.
Githkar Tavkim crashed. You put your trust in me, Voss. I plan to honor it.
Yes, and it seems I have no choice but to trust. There is but one prism, and you are its key. Find a way to retrieve the hammer and free Orpheus from the prism. I will assemble his remaining honor guard and plan our next actions. Together, we will yet free the true heir of Gith's blessed empire. He will free us from Vlaakith and lead our Kithraki against the Geich. Istik, I will wait in the underground. Seek me when you have the hammer in hand.
Orpheus sensed the tadpole before, and his guard attacked. Won't he attack if we free him?
The Prince of the Comet aches for Githyanki liberation more than he abhors Geich. He might seethe when you free him. He might gnash his teeth and slander your name. But he will see reason. I promise you.
Any idea where Raphael might keep the Orphic hammer?
A devil of Raphael's stature does not simply make camp on the shores of the Styx. He will have made a sanctuary for himself, a lavish one too, one that caters to his many vices.
The House of Hope. We must find a way in.
The House of Hope, you say? I couldn't ask for a name more fitting. Every house has an entrance, Istik, even those in the Hells. You must find it.
You are wasting your time, and mine. Our true enemy is the Elder Brain. Focus your mind there.
So the Emperor is not at all pleased or even toying with the idea of freeing Orpheus, considering that he is the one keeping everything in check right now and protecting everybody.
You paid Raphael a visit. I want to hear all about it. Come here. I'm not going to start an argument. I just want to know why you turned the boss down.
Did he tell you to try and win me over with your charms?
Cheeky. We might be in a brothel, but I'm not that kind of gal. You should reconsider, though. The boss might be a devil, but he'll treat you more honestly than anyone else in the city.
What exactly is it you do for him?
Plenty. But right now, I have one job. You. I'm talking to you openly, mortal to mortal. And I'm begging you to sign the contract. If the Brain wins, the Illithid Empire returns and worlds you've never even dreamed of will die. Raphael can stop it. He wants to. And he knows how. You're the key. You always have been.
I don't believe a devil cares about the fate of the world.
I won't pretend he's an altruist, but he's looked at the balance sheet. No world, no souls. And it's hard to get leverage on an Illithid. They make terrible clients.
Fair enough. I'm not convinced, though. I'll stop the Brain without his help.
I doubt it. But even if you do, you won't survive the fight. I'd reconsider if I were you.
Well, let me just check with the teammates. Does anybody else have anything to say?
God, you're beautiful.
Well, that goes without saying.
I'm listening.
Okay, everybody seems pretty satisfied, so we are going to return to camp and close out today's episode. Our first episode back, 50 episodes. So far, we have done pretty good. Any thoughts on the episode before we end for today? Awesome. Well, I am glad you enjoyed it. We will see you hopefully tomorrow for the next live stream. Have a great night. Bye-bye.